So I tried to run the battery down over the last 24 hours, running the fan on high, running some fairy lights, 33-foot string of those, and a stupid little LED light. And I also charged up this phone from 23%. Last night I just left it on this box all night and grabbed it off this morning when I woke up. And so I've been discharging it for 24 hours, and I topped it off yesterday with the panels, but it was ridiculous. It took like an hour. So probably way oversized my panels. The box weighs about 25 pounds. That's with the battery and a bunch of this crap stowed inside there and all this junk mounted to it. The freaking panels weigh around 60 pounds hinged together. So they weigh more than the battery box. Could have probably went with 250 watt panels that were considerably smaller and lighter. Seriesed them together like those two and still got really good results. You know, maybe it wouldn't charge this thing up in an hour, but a couple, 2-3 hours, which is reasonable, especially if you're doing other stuff and you don't really care about it. So I figured I'd go ahead and demonstrate how, well, let's just say for the sake of argument's sake, that the sun just came up and the panels are not disconnected. So I'm going to simulate the sun coming up basically and connect them and show you how this thing can power right up automatically and start charging your battery. So without further ado, boop. Got pretty good sun out there. It's overcast. It's partly cloudy or mostly cloudy, whatever you want to call it. And there we go. It's up and running. I haven't really run the battery down hardly at all. I changed the setting on this thing to allow 8 amps, but I backed down the total charge from 44.5 to 42.5. And this probably won't take any time at all either. An hour or so, if even that, and this thing's gonna be all charged up. I did break one of those panels the day I got it. I broke the glass. I didn't break the panel itself, it still works. I had to repair the one on the left there. It's got 3 heavy coats of polyurethane on it. I hit it with the drill bit when I was putting hardware on it. Totally my mistake. Totally effed up. But the panel still works good. And I sealed it back up, so it should last a long time. And this thing's just whistling along. I might have an idea about how to quiet this thing down too. See how the fan is attached to the actual frame there. It's screwed in with those 2 screws on either side of the fan. And that middle part really doesn't do anything. It's not going to stop anything from really going in there. I'm pretty sure that's where all the noise comes from, is the metal cowling. This part right here. See, I can put my finger over it, and I'm not blocking all the airflow, but now what the air is doing is it's being forced to go around my finger, which is rounded, and it takes that whistle out of it pretty good, so it's not nearly as loud. So I may just try to cut that metal out and see what happens, because I'm pretty sure that's what's causing all that whistling. So I tried turning this thing down, and that don't help, believe it or not. You can turn it down to the lowest setting, and it sounds worse than that. So yeah. That or that. Yeah, it's annoying as heck. That's only halfway up. So I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'll pop out there to the solar panels. I'll let you see the busted one. I'll let you see how I broke it and see how I made my legs. I copied another YouTuber named Jasonoid. He has a pretty good video on how to make your own 12 volt solar generator and he's using a small panel, and he made some legs. And anyway, that's where I got my inspiration for the legs. All right, you'll have to forgive me. My neighbor is cleaning up a mess in his driveway with his shop vac. So here's the broken panel. I don't know if you can tell. You can see it's kind of lumpy. The first 2 coats went on real nice and smooth, and then the 3rd coat, I'm just like took my paint stick and I'm just like dribbling it on there, and now I can see all the spots where I dribble it on there. So would not. If you get to repair one of these, don't dribble it on there. Just pour it on there in a big pool and then spread it out. You'll turn it, and use a brush too. I used a brush. You're probably gonna F the brush up, but who cares about a $5 brush when you're dealing with a $150 panel? Anyway, I put some window locks on there to hold it together. It's all riveted on there. There's the handle. That's riveted on there. And here's where I broke the panel, because I got too close. You can see I went across this line. See this line here? If you're going to do something similar to this, you need to stay on this side of that line for sure, because that's everything else I drilled on this side of the line. No problems, no breaking, nothing. As soon as I went over that little line, just radiated out from there. It was cracking for hours. And here's my little legs, and they're all riveted together too. And I just used thicker aluminum than Jason did, because I got bigger panels. I got 2 panels and they're bigger. So sorry, I think I just hit the button on there. Anyway, you could lock this up through here at a campground with like a big U-lock or bike lock or something, big chain or something, or through the handle. They're very solid. I mean, somebody would have to drill these out to steal it. I mean, they're going to go through some trouble. They're going to mangle this thing to get it apart. And then up inside there, I just used security screw, and then there's a nylon nut, anti-slip nut or anti-back-off nut on the back of that you can't even get to unless you drill out the rivets right here. So it works really good. And then I got a couple of little pieces of Velcro to hold the legs in when it's suitcased up. And I got 16 degrees on this because I live in New York. There's the sun up above me. Yeah, up there. So it's a little after 11 now, so these things aren't even aimed at the sun right. So there it is, broken. I did the same thing with those hinges. Those hinges are zinc, so they will probably not rust. Or zinc coated or whatever. I may have to oil them if you leave them out a lot in the rain. Those are riveted on too. So none of this is coming apart easily. And there's the window locks on the end, which work really well to hold it all together, since it weighs 60 freaking pounds. And this is obviously the one I didn't break, but they're still working good. So it sucks I broke it. Live and learn. Okay, I'm out. I may put one more up about this thing in the field in action. Maybe when it's all buttoned up, ready to transport, I'll show it in a pile, all folded up and the wire